Hi, this is Yanira from El Club de las Diosas, and today I'm going to show you how to create a handwriting practice book. These books are becoming very famous, not only for preschool children, but also from homeschooling. It is very, very easy to do on Canva. There are many of templates, but today I want to show you a program that I use. It's called Tangent Templates. In this program, I'm going to leave a link below on how to access this because I do have a coupon for you so you can get it. But this is a phenomenal program that you can use to create your interiors. It has a lot of templates, a lot of really cool things that you can use. I use it not only for templates, but also when I'm merging things. It has all kinds of template packets in there that you can use to create your own interiors, and it's already preset and you can personalize it as well. That's what is great about this. It is a very well-rounded program that I use for certain things because, as you know, not everything has everything. So for today's purposes, I'm going to click on this handwriting paper because that's what I'm going to use, and this is a great template to use to create these type of books. All right, because it already has the lines. So for today, I'm going to use a size of 7 by 10, something a little bit different that I typically use. I'm just going to use one page because all I need is just one page because all I want is the template. So once I click on download, it will go ahead and download a PDF, and that is a PDF that I'm going to upload straight into Canva. And I'll leave a link below so you can see how to upload in Canva. I have a video on that. It's very simple. It's literally you just, as you saw, you click and drag it in there. So I'm going to start with this. With handwriting, there's different things that you can do, right? So you can just leave it as simple and then use tracing letters to pre-populate what you want them to write. Or something that I like to do is just to make it fun, different, and exciting is I like to also make it into a coloring book with some pictures to make it very interesting, right? To make that association with the letter. That way, not only they're learning how to write it, but they're also learning how to pronounce it by pronouncing the name of the item that it's already in there and then coloring the item, right? So again, it's just a well-rounded book. So if you think about that, think of the benefits that your customers are going to get by buying the book. It will be great. So in this case, I'm just going to eliminate completely the top because I want to leave it blank for any other things that I want to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and add text in here. And this is something that I recently discovered. And as you know, Canva has a lot of different fonts available. There's one called Student. Literally, it's called Student, which then creates these amazing words into a very cool font that you can use for different things. So in this case, obviously, since I'm doing a tracing book, I'm gonna go ahead and use the letter A, and I use that student font to recreate that thing. And as I'm thinking about how my tracing letters are going to look like, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Obviously, think of the letter to be almost to the fullest of the space because kids are going to be writing this. You want to have these letters to be legible enough for them to be able to, to write and to work on it. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy paste, literally Control C and Alt C depending on, which computer are you using. And check this out. I'm going to click on dotted. Boom! That's simple. You make a letter, a dotted letter, which is phenomenal. That way, you can just copy paste the exact same letter all across the line. And you can space it out as you wish, based on the amount of times that you want the children to practice, right? You can have just 4 letters. You can have just 3 letters. It's literally up to you to make that happen. I like to have a little bit more letters because I figure that with practice makes perfection, right? As they say. So in this case, I'm just gonna add a little bit more in there and kind of like space them out so that way they have the opportunity to kind of like take a break in between these letters. They're starting to write, so their little hands, the little fingers are going to take a little bit of time just doing these. So the more space that you have, the better. But I also wanted to show you different things that this has available in here. As I mentioned before, obviously Canva has great templates that you can use, and one of those is actually tracing letters. So as you can see, they have different kinds of letters. As you click on it, you'll see that the tracing dotted lines are already there, and you can utilize them as well. If you want to go ahead and not use that font, right? It's totally up to you, whatever you guys want to use. I'm giving you options. And check this out. This is another great way to make it more personal as you think about this letter. So for example, I'm going to select this letter, and as you can see, it shows kind of like the way that the tracing is supposed to be, right? You start with, letter U is just a loop, which is simpler, but as you can see, even the letter E has different ways of doing it. It's just a guide that helps children how to do this. And when you click on magic recommendations and you see all, you get a list of all different kinds of letters that they have available that you can use for your alphabet handwriting practice, right? Again, there's so many options that there's no reason why you couldn't do this. And then all you have to do is, again, click on the trace letter that you have on the top, and kind of like line it up so that way they're in the same way, and just type the letter that it was. In this case is letter U, so I'm trying to use obviously caps, but for some reason the keyboard is not working for me, so my apologies in that case. I'm gonna try it again, but in this case obviously it's a different U, it's lowercase u, so I will change this one to the lowercase that is in here, and so you can see it shows the different ways of creating that U. You start with number 1, which is a loop, and then you go up downwards into tracing it. So again, there's no need to not be able to do this, because there's different options. And then on the top, because I use the letter A, I'm gonna go ahead and start populating the elements that I want to use for that coloring piece. As I mentioned, it's the association with the letter, the name of an item, and then coloring that. So that way, not only they get to learn the letter itself, they get to learn the phonics, the pronunciation, as well as colors, right? Because if you think about it, then they're gonna be coloring the apple in red. So it's just a well-rounded book, and that's something that you have to keep in mind when you're creating these. You want to make sure that you produce a well-rounded book that is different than anything else that is out there. I also want to show you another way to create these. As I mentioned, Canva does have templates, and you can utilize those, right, as inspiration. For example, this one has the tracing, there's letters, there are numbers, there are different things that you can use to create your own book. Again, no excuse not to, people. It's very, very simple to do, and when someone has already have done the pre-work for you, why not, right? So I click on this one so you can see how different it is. But in my opinion, I like to personalize it, and then all I gotta do is click on PDF, download, and print. It is that simple, people. I hope this was very helpful for you. Leave comments or questions below, and don't forget to subscribe.